Hello everyone, welcome to Euron, and in this lecture guys I'm going to talk about a project called as File Analyzer. So basically you are going to upload a file and your LLMs, basically OpenAI or maybe a Gemini. So these kind of LLMs are going to do analysis on a file and then finally it is going to give you the output, and we are going to build this application with Streamlit. So obviously we are going to see an interface with respect to Streamlit, and then we are going to expose it as a MCP tool, so that with the help of MCP Inspector or such kind of a tools, I will be able to communicate with my file analyzer as a MCP, as a model context protocol. So let me share my screen, and I believe this project is visible to all of you. So here, so we are having like this entire project. So here it will be able to handle files, and it is going to generate some sort of insights. You can try to ask any kind of a question. You can even ask like your LLM that try to find out some sort of anomaly. So whatever you want, you can try to ask with respect to a file, and for sure LLM is going to give you the response. And then eventually we are going to convert this entire project or this entire things into MCP. So basically we are going to test that MCP with the help of MCP Inspector. So let's get started and try to open up your VS Code so that we can start writing a code, and we can try to build this file analyzer. So open folder, and maybe I'll go to D drive, and then here, so file analysis is a folder which I have created, and all the links and everything, whatever I'm going to use it over here, it will be shared inside your dashboard. So you can look into your dashboard and you can try to get whatever file that I'm trying to create over here. Okay, so let's do it in a step-by-step manner, guys, and let's try to understand that how this entire project is going to actually work. So first of all, what I will do is, so I'm inside this folder, and I'm going to use my base environment. It's completely fine, and whatever is required, so eventually I'll try to install it, or you can try to even use a conda environment creation. So conda create -n and then environment name and then your Python version, and then you can try to create a separate environment. Inside a separate environment you can try to execute this project, or maybe into your base environment. So I have shown these kind of things multiple times even in your previous project, so you can even go and check if you are not aware about it. Okay, so here what we can do is, so we can try to write basically like first of all function, so which will be able to parse a file, a PDF kind of a file, or maybe it will be able to read a CSV kind of a file, or maybe it will be able to read Excel kind of a file. So these are the file parser we are going to write over here. So here I'm going to create parser.py file, and then inside this what I'm going to do is, so I'm going to import pandas, pandas, pandas as pd, and then I'm going to import basically fitz fidge, and which is going to help me out in terms of like dealing with the PDF file basically, and pandas is going to help me out with respect to dealing with the CSV file and the Excel file. So here I'm going to create my own function called as parser parser underscore CSV, a CSV parser, and we all know that pandas is very good with it, right? So here I'm going to create a variable called as file path, and then here, so I'm going to return, so pandas dot read CSV, and simple, so it will be able to like take this file path, whatever file that we are going to provide, and then it is going to read it. So this is one of the file parser that we have created, a simple small one. Then parse, so file parser underscore excel Excel file, and again I will be using a pandas, so file underscore path path is a variable I'm going to create, and then return what, so pandas dot read Excel, and here, so I'm going to provide a file path, so file path, and it is going to read this entire file. Then I'm going to create a third function. So let's suppose if I'm going to pass a PDF file, so I will be using this fidge, and with the help of this fidge I will be able to read the PDF file. So data frame, so def, and then I can try to write parser underscore PDF, and then here I'm going to pass a file path, file underscore path path, and then it is going to read this entire PDF file. So I can write like a fidge, so fidge dot open and open any file which is available at this particular path, at this particular path and then try to read it. So maybe like as a PDF over here. And then what we are going to do with this PDF, so we are going to parse this PDF. So this is just going to perform the read operation. It is going to like open up the particular file. And then what we are going to do is, so we can try to write, and let's suppose there will be a multiple like pages inside this one, right? So for page in doc or like a page in PDF, I can try to write, and whatever pages are available inside this particular PDF. So do one thing. So page inside this as a list comprehension. So page dot get underscore text. So this is the function which is already available inside of it. So it is going to read all the PDF one by one, page by page, and from every page, so it is supposed to get all the text. And what we are going to do, so we are going to wrap it up with the join function, so that whatever data that we are going to read, so it should be able to join it. So here what I can do, so I can try to like join it with my end of the line character. So dot join join. So here it is going to like read the entire data, combine it, and then finally it is going to give you as a, let's suppose, text, right? And then I'm going to return this particular text over here. So return what? Return text from this one. So this is my file parser that I have created, so that I will be able to read a CSV file, I will be able to read a Excel file, I will be able to read this PDF file. Let's suppose if I would like to read some other files, maybe a JSON file, maybe a doc file, maybe a Avro Parquet kind of a file. So I will be able to read each and everything. Maybe I can try to write a separate function. So you will be able to read hundreds of files, not one or two. So whatever you want, you all will be able to read it down out of this one. Okay. So file parser is completely fine. Once I'm able to parse this entire file, so what I'm supposed to do is, so basically I'm supposed to send these data into my LLM. So how I will be able to do that? So maybe I can create a new over here, new file, and insigsts insights.python file I'm going to create, which is going to take a data from these files, whatever file that you are going to read, and it is going to generate some sort of insights based on the LLMs. So here I'm going to use OpenAI key basically, and going forward, so even inside Euron, inside Eury, basically we have a keys which is available for multiple LLMs, even for a GPT, like even for a Gemini, even for Mistral. So a lot of like LLMs are available. You can try to make use of any LLMs. And going forward, even I'm going to create videos for that, where I will not be using any OpenAI key. So I'll be using basically a key from Eury. But here, let's try to like understand how I will be able to like use OpenAI key over here. So here, what we can do is, so we can try to do some sort of an import. So first of all, import operating system. I'm going to use it now from OpenAI. So from OpenAI, so import basically what? So import O capital, so OpenAI basically, and then from dot environment import load underscore dot env. So why I'm doing this one? Because I'm going to keep my key inside the env file, .env file, and keeping that in a mind, so obviously I have to do this one. So I have written this one there is a spelling mistake. So from from, and then here, so from from. Okay. So I have just done the import, and I'm using a load dot environment, so that from the env file, it will be able to read out whatever variable or whatever data which I'm going to save it over there. So here to do that, so I have to call a load dot environment function, so that it will be able to read anything from a .env. And here, so I'm going to create .env. Okay. Now what I'm going to keep inside .env, so I'm going to keep my OpenAI key over here. So in case of a .env file, so you can see OpenAI key, and this is my OpenAI key, which I'm trying to keep inside my .env file. Now, so once I will be able to read that data from a .env, so whatever data is available, whatever variable in which I'm trying to store some values. So once I will be able to read out those things, now what I'm supposed to do? So now I'm basically supposed to send all of those data. So whatever data that we are trying to read out from the file to our LLM. So we have to initialize our LLM over here. So I can try to maybe create a variable called as client, and then client is going to be OpenAI, the import that we have done over there. And then, so we have to provide a API key in a first place. So here operating system, so operating system OS dot get, I can try to write, so get env. So get env, and then I'm going to pass this variable. So OpenAI API key. So OpenAI API key. So it is going to load everything from like a OpenAI key. So whatever key that we are trying to store, and maybe I can try to like give identifier over here. So OpenAI key is equals to this one. So this is going to create my client, OpenAI client for me. Now, once my client is created, right? Once my client is created, so maybe I can try to create a function over here. So where I will be able to pass a data, it will be able to use a key that I'm trying to initialize, a client that I have already initialized. And then eventually I will try to send a prompt along with the data, and it is going to give me all the output. So here I can try to write a function that get underscore LLM underscore insights insights. Okay. And here, so I'm going to pass my prompt. So prompt prompt. And once I'm going to pass a prompt inside this one, so what my system should do. So basically my system should take a particular prompt, which I'm trying to provide, try to add something on top of it. And then finally it should give me the output. So to do that, I'm going to use a client over here, the OpenAI client, because at the end of the day, I'm going to pass my data into my OpenAI. So here, client dot, I can try to write client dot chat. This is how we generally call OpenAI. So client dot chat completion, COMPLITION completion dot create. Now, so this is going to create eventually my client. So where I will be able to send a data and I will be able to get the response. So here I have to define a model. So model is equals to, I'm going to say that try to use a GPT-4 over here in terms of models, and then try to send a message. So message wise, whenever we are trying to send a message, so we can try to send a system message and we can try to send a user message. Now system message wise, what we are going to send, so we are going to say that you are this and that, and then client message, or like my message wise, I'm going to send my prompt over here. So here, first of all, let's try to send a system message. So here I'm going to write, so role is basically what? So role is basically a system, right? And then content. So here content, 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 and I'm going to say that you are basically a helpful agent. So I'm going to say that you are a helpful system agent, analyze my data and give me a response. So that system will be able to understand that what kind of an actor system is, and system will try to give you a response accordingly. Yeah. And this is the response which I have given to the system prompt. Now, once system prompt is done, so what we can do is, so we can try to now send our own message over here. So I can try to write another JSON, and then I can try to say that this time your role is basically what? So your role is basically a user, and then try to take a content. So content basically, and what kind of a content you are supposed to take. So whatever I'm going to give you as a prompt, so whatever input I'm going to give you in a function, so just try to take that particular one. And here, so apart from this, I can try to set other parameters as well. There is a parameter called as temperature, and if temperature is low, so it simply means that it will hallucinate less. So maybe I can try to keep it as a 0.3 over here. I can try to even reduce it down. That's completely fine. So now this is going to give me a response. Now, once I will be able to get a response from this one, right? So let's try to store it in a response variable. A response variable. So I'm going to hold it inside the response variable and let's return it basically. So return wise, so response dot choice. So choice 0 dot message dot content. So basically try to return me the message content. So whatever content that we are trying to give from a message, just try to return me that particular part. So this is going to return me a content which I will be able to get out of this one as a response, as simple as that. Okay. So here I'm able to write my insights.py file. My parser file is already ready. Now what is next? So the next part is I have to create a UI interface, because now I will be able to pass a data, and then eventually I will be able to call my insights.py file. So where my LLMs are going to do the analysis, and then it is going to return the entire value. So here now next thing is I have to basically create a Streamlit app, or even before that. So I have to basically create one more thing. So let's suppose if I would like to do some sort of a visualization. So visualizer visualizer.py file I'm going to create. So which will be used for visualizing the entire data. So I'm not going to do much over here. So I'm going to just utilize this code. So here it will try to generate basically a Plotly chart. So whatever data that we are going to get, so it is going to basically visualize the entire Plotly in terms of like a final visualization. So it will be able to visualize the data if it is possible. If not, so I'll try to handle even that in terms of a condition. So this is going to be a visualizer.py, which is going to give me the graph kind of a structure. So as you can see over here, generate a Plotly chart. It is going to take a data frame. If data is available in form of a data frame, and select a data type over here, so that it will be able to find out the numeric column. And then if there is a numeric column, so I'm just trying to call a histogram over here, just try to do the histogram and then try to plot it. And then for this one basically, and if length of numeric column is more than 2, so in that case just try to plot the scatter matrices. So it's a very simple visualizer file which I have written over here. Nothing much, nothing fancy. Now let's close each and everything, and then let's come to the file. So where we are going to create a simple basic UI interface with the help of Streamlit. I'm just going to use Streamlit, and then eventually I'll try to make this insights.py file available even to my MCPs basically. So here let's try to write a main.py file in a step-by-step manner. So here in terms of main.py file, so what I can do is, so maybe I can try to import all the required library. So here first of all I have to import basically Streamlit, Streamlit as st, let's suppose. So I'm going to import Streamlit, import basically OS over here, import pandas as a PD. So these are the three import that I'm trying to do. Apart from that, so you have to import your insights, your parser and your visualizer. So fine, let's try to import it. So from basically parser, so parser file, just try to import. So import a function which is available over here. So parse CSV, parse Excel and parse PDF. Okay. So here parse CSV, parse Excel and parse PDF. So these are the three things which I have written. So I'm just going to reuse those things which I have written over there. And then I'm going to call from insigsts from insights. So from this particular file, so whatever function that I have, just try to import it. So import what? So get LLM insights. So that is a function which I have written over there. And then from a visualizer, so from visualizer import this particular one. So generate Plotly chart. So here generate Plotly chart. So now this is my import. My import is done completely, right? Then what we can do is, so we can try to maybe create a complete layout for a Streamlit. So here I can try to call set Streamlit set page underscore config. So page configuration, and here so I'm going to give maybe a page layout over here. So page title, first of all, title, page title. So file analyzer, and then I can try to give layout is equals to wide. So this is just a simple parameter which I am going to set for my Streamlit app that it is going to showcase. And then Streamlit.title I'm going to give, and title is going to be file analysis system with LLM. Okay. So this is the title which I'm going to give. Now, once this is done, maybe I can go and I can try to test it, that whether it's working or not. So here to execute this Streamlit app, so I can try to write streamlit Streamlit and then run. and then I can write main.py file, and you will be able to find out that yes, this is the Streamlit file analysis system with LLM it is trying to run. And as you can see over here, it has given a name is equals to file analyzer, which is running in my local system. In a later stage, I can try to host it in any cloud platform. That's completely fine. I will be able to do that, which I'm not doing it as of now, right? But yeah, so this is the simple basic Streamlit app which I am able to create. Now, once I'm able to create this Streamlit app, now what I'm supposed to do? So I'm supposed to create a file uploader inside this Streamlit app. So let's go and let's try to do a file uploader. So file underscore uploader is a function from my Streamlit uploader uploader function I'm going to call, and then I'm going to say that upload your Excel, CSV or PDF file. So this is just a string which it is going to showcase, and then inside a type, so I can try to mention the actual file type. So it is going to accept a CSV file, it is going to accept basically Excel file, so XLSX file it is going to accept. So this is basically a Excel file format, or maybe even this one is a Excel file format, it is going to accept it, or it is going to accept a CSV file. So this is what I have written, that okay fine, so try to accept a CSV file. Okay, CSV I have already written, right? So PDF I think I have not written, so try to accept a PDF file. So PDF, Excel and CSV file, try to accept it. So this is going to give you an option, so where you will be able to upload all this kind of a file. So uploaded underscore file. So in this variable, I'm going to capture all the file. Now Control S, and now if I'll go and I'll try to refresh, you will be able to see an uploader option. So upload your Excel, CSV or a PDF file. Now I can try to click, I can try to browse the file, and I will be able to upload a file over here. Once my file will be uploaded, then my real work is going to start, right? So I have to do the analysis of the file. So I have to call basically a parser first of all, and then I have to do the analysis. So get LLM insights, and then I have to basically visualize if it is possible. So this is what I'm supposed to do. So I have already created a function for each and everything. So let me copy and paste that function. It's very easy to understand, by the way, in case of a Streamlit. So here, whatever file that I have uploaded, so I'm trying to say that if file uploaded file, so means if it is true, so in that case, try to do one thing. So operating system.path.join asset.upload means I'm trying to even save that file. So I'm trying to write that particular file inside this directory. So now this directory is not available. What I will do is I'll try to create that directory. So ASSETS assets, and inside this assets directory, so I'm going to create another directory called as uploads. So that whatever file anyone is going to upload, uploads. So whatever file anyone is going to upload, I will be able to even save those file with the help of this one. This is what we are trying to do. Now, so here we are trying to check that if upload file name ends with .csv, then use a parse CSV function. Yeah. So use parse CSV function. So here parser CSV I have written. So let me replace it with that. And then parser Excel I have written. So let me change it with that. And then a parser PDF. So parser PDF, let me change it with that. And then get LLM insights. Let me change that as well. Okay. So get LLM insights. Let me change with that. And then rest is completely fine. Okay. So here, once I'm able to save this file inside this directory, right? Inside this directory, I'm going to save the file. Then I'm going to check that if uploaded file name ends with CSV, then use parser CSV. What is parser CSV? This one. So which is available inside my parser py file. And then if uploaded file name ends with this Excel or XLS, so here in that case, use a parse Excel. Otherwise, try to use what? So try to use a parse PDF and then try to extract a data. Now I'm just trying to do some sort of a restriction because of timeout issue. So just try to extract a data from a PDF. Now, so here I'm trying to create a button over here. So it will try to give a name as generate insights from PDF. And then when I'm going to call it, So it is going to spin and then it will keep on showing you, I'm thinking, I'm thinking, I'm thinking. This is just a text which I'm trying to show you, nothing much, no operations over here as such. And then it is going to send all of those data to my PDF basically, right? To my PDF, it is going to send all of those data. And then once it will be able to get insights, it is going to show you that particular insights in case of PDF file. Yeah. In case of basically a PDF file, it is going to do these things. And this is what I have written, generate the insights. Simple, right? Generate the insights. So in case of PDF text, it is going to perform this operation. Now, what about these files? So what about this data frame parse CSV or Excel? So if I have a CSV or if I'm going to get a Excel file or CSV file, now what is going to happen in that case? So here I'm going to write a function that if button analyze data with LLM. So this is something that it is going to do and create generating insights. It will keep on showing you that. And again, I'm trying to call my LLM. So get LLM insights. And inside that, so I'm trying to basically send the entire data. So data frame dot head. So 100 record I'm going to select, and then I'm trying to convert it to CSV. And so then I'm going to send this entire data inside the LLMs along with the prompt, and it is going to give you the insights and it is going to write it down. Now, so same thing will be used even for the visualization. So what I'm trying to do is, so I'm trying to pass a data frame over here, and then this data frame is going to basically do a Plotly chart for you. As simple as that. So this is a Streamlit app, guys, and let me run this entire Streamlit app. It's already running, so I can try to go over here. I can try to refresh it. This is the very simple interface that I have created. Now open up, and then maybe I can try to open up files. So let me check whether I have some file or not. So okay, I have some file over here. So as you can see, it is able to load the entire data. Now if I'm going to click on analyze data with LLM, so what it will do, so it will try to send these data to the LLM. Now it is giving me some issue. Chat object has no attribute completion. Okay, so client chat completion dot create, and there is a issue, compli completion. Okay, so let me check whether I have made some spelling mistake or not. So here get LLM insights, and inside this get LLM insights, so client chat completion, so it should be S basically. Control S. Again, I'll try to refresh it, and I'll try to upload a data once again. Now analyze, and same issue. So result function get LLM insights. Okay, so let me check. So client dot chat dot comp LETIONS dot create. So this is the spelling completions. Now, so refresh once again, and then try to upload a file once again. And yeah, so it is able to visualize the data. As you can see, right, it is able to visualize the data from the file itself, and then analyze a data. So this time I'm getting a different issue, it seems. So get LLM insights. Okay, so raise type error message. Let me check. Okay, so it is telling me that message required arguments expected either message and model or message model and stream argument. So in line number 40. So maybe the things which I have written and the thing which I'm expecting is different. So let me go to main.py file and let's check. So analyze this data. And if I have this data df head to CSV, so what I'm supposed to do with that, let me fix. Okay, so it seems like it's a minor issue that we are talking about. It's a messages, not a message. Let me go ahead and execute it once again. So let me check final website and then click on. Okay, so now it's working. So that there was a very minor issue. So I have just defined a key with the wrong name. So I have written message, but it was supposed to be messages when I'm sending a data to LLMs. Again, there is an error, guys. So let me fix it again. Okay, so now it looks like that I have made another spelling mistake. It should be a choices, not a choice. Yeah, this happens. Auto completion. I'm keeping my auto completion off so that it will not be able to complete it. Okay, so let me go ahead and try to re-execute once again by uploading a file. So here is a file and then click on analyze data with LLM. So it is analyzing. Let's see. So what is the response which I'm going to get? Yeah, so now I'm able to get a response based on the provided data. Here are some insights. So page views, the average page views are approximately 1257. The maximum page views recorded as 1645.57. So this is the insights from my data. Now, whatever data I'm going to pass, obviously it is going to give me the insights out of it. And I have passed basically a Excel file. I can try to pass even PDF file. I can try to pass any other files that I want. That's completely fine for me. Okay, so once this is done, this is my Streamlit app, which is up and running, and I am able to test it. I can keep on adding more and more into this one. So more number of graphs, more number of analysis, more number of result, whatever I want, I can just try to print it. But yeah, so this demo is done. Now, what is our next step that we have to do? So the next step that we have to do over here is expose our LLM insights, right? So expose, I'm going to close it, by the way. So let's close it. Yeah. So basically the insights that I'm using over here. So expose this insights, just this particular function as of now, to a MCP, right? So as a MCP tool, I'm supposed to use this one. So how I will be able to expose? Again, easy peasy. We have done those things multiple times. So what I can do is, so I can try to maybe like create a file over here called as MCP underscore server server.py file. Now, so just try to import some of the things. So I'm going to import a fast MCP with the help of that fast MCP SDK. I'm going to convert this like a method or tool into a MCP tool. So here from fast MCP import fast MCP. Okay, fine. And then try to import this inside. So from this one, import get LLM inside. So only I need these two things to show you a demo how we can expose it as a MCP over here. Now let's try to create an object of MCP. So fast MCP, and here, so I'm going to say that this will do the file, just a string, right? That this is going to do a file analysis for me. Now, so here I'm going to create a function. So function analyze underscore file, and then this function is going to take basically a text data as of now, because these MCP tools like MCP host, if I'll say, so Cloud or Inspector, which I'm going to use. Now these MCPs is not allowing you as of now to upload a file. So with the help of MCP tools, so I will not be able to upload a file. Maybe I can try to copy and paste data, and then I'll send it over there in a future. So yes, I have seen that they are going to release some of this kind of a feature. So if those features will be available, we will be able to even upload a file the way we were doing it in case of a Streamlit. So here return what? So get LLM insights, whatever text data which I am going to send. So here based on that, it is going to basically do the entire analysis. So I'm trying to say that okay, try to take this text data, and maybe I can try to put up some sort of a restrictions over here because of the timeout issue. So maybe I can say that try to consider max to max only 5,000 textual information which I'm going to send inside you. And now I can try to convert this entire function into an MCP. So by using a decorator, so mcp.tool tool. So this will eventually convert this entire function as a MCP tool. I will be able to expose it to the outside world. And then here, so I'm going to write if underscore underscore main underscore underscore is equal to name underscore underscore is equal to underscore underscore main underscore underscore. Okay, so do what? So MCP dot run. So just run the MCP. So this is my MCP tool, guys. And here, so we'll get LLM inside this function. So I'm trying to expose it as a MCP tool. Simple. So now close everything. We have to do a setup for an MCP. Yeah, we have to do a setup for the MCP, because without setup, this is not going to run. So what I will do, so for the setup, so I can try to clear my screen, and here, so I can try to write UVINIT. So UV is a package manager. So UV init, initialize it, dot means initialize the entire directory. So here you will be able to see that it has created some of the additional files over here. And yeah, I forgot to talk about like a asset. So as you can see, whatever file that I have uploaded, right? So those files are already available inside my asset directory. Simple. Okay, so it has added couple of files like a readme, toml, some of these files it has added, git ignore it has added, so pycache it has added by calling a init. Now what we can do is, so we can try to do a basic package installation over here. So to do a basic package installation over here, we can try to call uv add, and uv add what? So uv add mcp CLI, this one. Now it is going to update all the packages inside this entire UV that I have created. Okay, so once this part is done, right? Once this part is done, then what we can do is, so we have to test it with the help of MCP Inspector. So MCP Inspector is basically a UI interface given by MCP. So you can try to like take it as a host, basically host system, which is going to help you out in terms of doing a file analysis. So here, what I can do is, so I can try to call MCP dev to run this entire things into MCP Inspector. So MCP dev, and then I can try to give my file name. So MCP server is my file name. So now once I'm going to hit enter, and if everything is good, so it will initialize my MCP Inspector at this particular port. So maybe I can try to go and I can try to check over here. Now I can try to click on connect. If everything goes fine, then it will be able to connect. Otherwise, you are going to see some sort of a issue. And we are going to like fix it. Error connecting MCP proxy, check a console log. So what is the issue? Throw new tool error, not connected. So it is not able to, it seems, convert. Okay, so this is the issue. npm cache file model context protocol. Okay, it is not giving me much of error over here. Maybe I can try to do a cleanup of a screen, and then this is done. So UV run MCP. So MCP is working fine inside my system. Maybe I can try to use npx command. Let's see. It should work even with a dev. It should not give me an issue. So here, click on connect. Okay, so now it's connected. There was no issue at all. So I have just used it npx command instead of dev, and yeah, it is working. So there is a tool, and I can click on tool, list tools, so analyze file. So I think this is the tool that we have created, right? So this is the tool that we have created, analyze file, and that tool is live. That tool is up and running. Now, once I'm going to open up this tool, so like I'm going to select this particular tool, and it is asking me to like enter some sort of a text over here. So like I said, so obviously I will be able to enter the text. I will not be able to upload a file. It is not giving me an option to upload the file. So I'll go over here. I'll try to open up a file, and maybe I can try to pass some of the data by just copying from here. So some random data I'm just copying, and then I'm going to pass it here. Yeah, and I am going to say that give me a detailed analysis of this data as per your observation. Now calling run tool, and if everything goes fine, then it is going to give me the final result. Otherwise error, then I'll have to fix it. Okay, that's a biggest issue with this one, request timeout. Maybe I can try to increase a timeout session. So restart. Okay, and with this timeout and analyze file, let's try to paste. I can say do the analysis run tool. That's the issue, guys. That's the issue with this MCP inspector. So timeout is like a very less. It's a 10 millisecond and maximum is 60 millisecond. Okay, so now I have just changed the timeout, as you can see, and it's working, right? So based on the data that you have provided, here are the insights. So page view insights, ad spend insights, weekend and weekdays insights, holiday insights. So yeah, I'm able to create my own custom MCP tool, and I'm able to test it with the help of this MCP inspector. So you can try to attach it even with the Cloud. In my previous project, I have talked about it. It's a very simple one. So you just have to call MCP install and then file name. It will be able to install inside the Cloud. You can call it and then you can pass the data. You will be able to test it. So hope all of you have enjoyed this project. So please try to do each and everything that I have done inside this particular project, and let me know about your feedback. What you think if you're getting stuck somewhere. So again, do let me know. I'll try to solve your issue. I'll try to help you out over there with that. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you again in my next lecture.